Hey, it is Troy Stavros, and I just wanted to give you the Farragut housing market update through the end of December. So all the data is in through the end of December. We're going to take a look and see what December of 2023, how it compared to December of 2022, and then we're also going to take a look at how 2022 compared to 2023 and what happened over that time period. So let's jump in and take a look. Okay, so the card on the right is December of 2023 compared to December of 2022. The card on the left is the month earlier. So home sales are down 10% compared to a year earlier. Pending sales are down 27.3% in Farragut compared to a year earlier. The inventory of homes is up 10.6%, so seeing a little bit more inventory on the market. New listings also are up 8.3%. We're seeing a few more people coming back on the market and listing their properties, so that's good. The median sales price, so basically from December of 2022 to December of 2023, is up 21.62% and came in at $679,900, with the average sold price per square foot coming at $229 per square foot. The absorption rate was down a tick and came in at 2.01 months worth of inventory compared to 2.19 months last month. So that means there's maybe a little bit more demand, but still only 2 months worth of inventory, which is really low, and which is also, even with a low amount of demand, it is keeping our prices level to rising in Farragut. Okay, let's take a look and see some other things happening in the Farragut market. When we take a look at this report, which looks at all of the active data of homes that are currently active on the market, it takes out anything that's pending. So we just want to look at what's active. This diagram here shows you where we are as far as a buyer or seller's market. With it coming in at a 39, we're in a slight seller's advantage. When it gets to the 30 mark, that's the break-even point. So below 30 would be buyer's market, above 30 would be a seller's market. So we're in a slight seller's advantage, down a tick from where we were last month. So we will keep an eye on that, but that's a quick way to look and see where we are as far as buyer or seller's market in Farragut. These graphs show us a 90-day period, so we can get a quick visual of what's happened over the last 90 days. So the median list price has worked its way down. It always typically comes down this time of year, but overall it has been working its way down. The price of new listings, median price of new listings, has held pretty steady across the board over the last 90 days. The price per square foot has gone up over the last 90 days. 90 days ago, it was at $229. Now the average price per square foot is coming in at $245 of active homes on the market. The median days on the market has increased. 90 days ago, we were at 42. As of last Friday, we were at 67. So again, we are heading into the winter months, so things typically take longer to sell. But again, it has to do with demand as well. Price decreases have fallen. You could see we were pretty steady at about 50% of the homes on the market having to decrease their prices until we got to about December 1st, and then from then on it has fallen, which is good news. So less people are having to reduce their price of active homes on the market in Farragut. As far as homes that have been relisted, this has crested over 13%. Anytime we get over 10%, that's something we want to keep an eye on. So when I say homes that have been relisted, that means either something has gone under contract and it has fallen apart and come back on the market, or it is expired and then come back on the market. So 13% of the homes actively on the market have been relisted in Farragut for one reason or another. Inventory has fallen, but not by a lot. You can see we don't have a whole lot of inventory as it is in Farragut, but 90 days ago we had 59 active homes, and as of last Friday we had 52. Median rent has basically stayed the same, and the market action index, which we talked about over here, has fallen from 44 90 days ago to now 39, but still slightly a seller's advantage. When we take a look at the inventory, you can see here that it has been coming down since September. So inventory has fallen compared to last year. Let's see, we had 52 active homes on the market as of last Friday. A year earlier, we had 38. So we have definitely more homes available on the market right now than we did a year ago. But when we compare it to pre-pandemic, and we go back over here, in January 25th of 2019, we had 114 homes on the market. So we basically have half of the amount of homes available on the market, which is why the prices are staying high and increasing. The demand might be low, but supply is even lower. So it is keeping a balanced market and allowing prices to stay steady to rising. When we look down here at the market segments, we can see what is happening in each market segment in Farragut. And this breaks the segments of the market and the price ranges into 25 percentiles. So the lowest 25% average is 430,000. The next up is basically 660. The next up is 823. And the next above that, the highest is 1.337. So when we look at this, a good thing to take a look at is it just gives you a basic idea of what you can get for that money in Farragut. So basically 430 can get you around 2,050 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a house that's about 46 years old. But when we also look at this, we want to look at the days on the market. So obviously this lowest percentile is the one that is selling the fastest at an average of 35 days on the market. As we continue higher, then we go on to see it takes longer to sell. So in this 660, basically 659.9 price point, you get approximately 2,783 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 28-year-old home, taking about 63 days on the market to get that sold. The next up, 823, gets you around 3,500 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath, 23-year-old home, and that's taking the longest right now to sell at 112 days on the market. And then in the top tier, that 1.337 average, you get about 4,000 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath, a home that's about 11 years old, and that's taking around 77 days on the market. This is also showing us what has come on the market within the past week in those segments. We didn't see anything come on the market last week. In the lowest segment, we saw 2 in that 660 segment. We saw 1 in the 823 segment. And we saw 2 in the luxury segment. And then as far as absorbed, that tells you how many listings were absorbed in that segment. So none came on the market in the lowest segment, 1 was absorbed. And the next one up, 2 came on the market, 2 were absorbed. 823 segment, 1 came on the market, 1 was absorbed. And in the luxury segment, 2 came on the market and none were absorbed last week. Because we are through the end of the year, we can take a look and compare 2022 to 2023. So let's see what our numbers look like there for Farragut. So as far as the absorption rate, there was a 60% increase from 2022 to 2023, but still very low inventory. On average, for 2023, we had 1.68 months worth of inventory, less than 2 months, which is super, super low, which tells us why our prices have been going up. The median list price increased 15% in 2023 compared to a year earlier and went from $599.9 up to $689.9. So that increased 15% as far as the median list price. The median sale price increased 7.66% compared to 2022. In 2022, the median sales price was $602,750, and in the end of 2023, it was $648,950. And the median days on the market increased 133%, but still very low on average. In 2022, the average days on the market in Farragut was 3 days on the market median. In 2023, it was 7, but we see that is increasing now. Let's take a look at the price ranges, take a look and see what has sold. So the most sales happened in Farragut in the last month in the 450 to 500 price range. Saw 5 homes sell last month. And then we saw 4 sell in the 750 to 800. So it's a pretty even across the board. You've got in this price range, you had 5. In this price range, you had 3 between 550 and 650. Then down here at 750 to 850, you saw another 6 sell. So it's pretty even across the board. As far as the luxury market, we saw one sell in the 1.3 to 1.4 and nothing higher than that. As far as homes that went pending last month, again, it was pretty even across the board. You had a couple in the 400 to 450 range, followed by one here in the 450 to 500. You had a couple in the 500 to 550, 650 to 700. Then you had a few here between 750 and 850. You had a couple in the 950 to a million. And then the highest pending sale last month was right here, the 1.1 to 1.2 in Farragut. When we look at the active homes on the market, what has the most available inventory, which price point? There is a clear winner in the 650 to 700 price point. So if you have a home listed in the 650 to 700 price point, know that is where the most competition is right now. So if it's taking longer to sell, it's because there's more supply in that price point right now. When we look at other prices, the 400 to 450 has 8 available, 450 to 500 has 7 available, and then as you bounce around, there's pretty good amount of inventory, a few in each price point. In this price point, you can see there, you can see these here, all the way down here, there's available inventory in Farragut, up into the luxury price point where you've got plenty available over $1 million and some up over $2 million. And then as far as the new listings that came on the market last month, the most new listings looks like a tie between the 400 to 450 and the 650 to 700. But again, you saw some come up on here in the lower price ranges, some in the middle price ranges, and then you saw some come in the higher price ranges as well. And as far as luxury listings, we saw a couple come on between 1.3 and 1.4, and that was it as far as the luxury listings coming on the market. All right, hope that's helpful. If you have any questions about the Farragut housing market, or you have any questions about what your home might be worth in Farragut, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Obviously, this is a weird time of year because things typically slow down this time of year in the winter months, but we really need to start watching what's happening in the market starting now moving forward for the rest of the year, because as we go from now into spring, it really will tell us what is going to happen in the market. So we'll keep an eye on that and we will keep you up to date. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.